but Chairman Evan Greenberg, Ambassador Robert Zellick, Ambassador Craig Allen, ladies and gentlemen, friends, good evening. It's my great pleasure to attend the gala dinner of the U.S.-China Business Council, USCBC, and join so many old and new friends at this wonderful event. We sometimes hear people say, business is business. But far too often, business is not just business, as economy and politics are always interwoven and interdependent. Our friends at the USCBC and the American business community know this very well. The USCBC was founded as early as in 1973, 6 years ahead of the establishment of China-US diplomatic relations. And since then, it has been a pioneer and pathfinder for our economic and trade cooperation and for the overall bilateral relations. Over the past 4 decades and more, your wisdom, vision, and commitment have turned into concrete and fruitful achievements in China-US relations, which will always be remembered by the Chinese and American peoples. Today, China-US relations are at a critical crossroads. Over the past year or so, our two countries have been overshadowed by the trade frictions, and our two sides are working hard to address our differences. We believe that as long as we engage in dialogue and consultation on the basis of equality, mutual benefit, and mutual respect, we will be able to tide over the difficulties and return to the right track of win-win cooperation. At the same time, we must be alert that some destructive forces are taking advantage of the ongoing trade frictions. Extreme rhetoric, such as decoupling, a new Cold War, and clash of civilizations, are having their way here. Some people in this country are pointing fingers at the governing party and national system of China. They are trying to rebuild the Berlin Wall between China and the United States in the economic, technological, and ideological fields. They are trying to spread hostility and even create conflicts between us. In this context, we cannot help but ask, is this the China-US relationship for which we have worked so hard for the past 40 years? If suspicion, animosity, estrangement, and confrontation are allowed to grow without any constraint, what consequences will the two peoples and the whole world have to suffer? As President Xi Jinping pointed out, China and the United States need to get the basics of their relations right and strengthen communication on strategic issues. There is no Thucydides trap in the world, and the real trap will only come from misunderstanding, misjudgment, and obstinate prejudice. Since the People's Republic of China was founded 70 years ago and led by the Communist Party of China, CPC, the Chinese people have paid painstaking efforts to develop and modernize the country and blaze the path of socialism with Chinese characteristics. We have taken the people's aspiration for a better life as our goal, and we have worked tirelessly to address the problem of unbalanced and inadequate development. Not long ago, the fourth plenum of the 19th CPC Central Committee took a major decision to uphold and improve the system of socialism with Chinese characteristics and modernize China's system and capacity of governance. This is for us to better cope with the risks and challenges on our way ahead, and to ensure the success of reform and opening up, so that we'll meet the goal of national rejuvenation. At the same time, China develops to be a better self, not to displace others, and it has not the slightest interest in global or regional hegemony. Instead, a developing China is making great contribution to human progress and will continue to do so and to do more. We hope to work with other countries to build a community with a shared future for mankind. And in this context, we look forward to working together with the United States to develop a relationship based on coordination, cooperation, and stability, and achieve its sound and sustained growth. This is for the interests of the two peoples, for the world, and for our shared future. So, facing today's China, will America opt for mutual respect and winning cooperation? Or will it go for a zero-sum game and a lose-lose scenario? Facing the collective rise of developing countries, will America choose to welcome more cooperation partners, or will it be single-minded about rivalry and resist this historical trend? I hope and I believe our American friends will make a wise choice. Here, I have to say a couple of words on some issues in order not to disappoint our friends from the media. I'm referring to the situation in Hong Kong and Xinjiang, issues of widespread attention. What is happening in Hong Kong and Xinjiang has been seriously distorted. For Hong Kong, it is most urgent to stop violence and restore order there. I believe that the business community feels such a need. However, there are people out there who are trying to challenge the bottom line of one country, two systems, and their real intention is to overthrow the country and ruin the two systems. The well-being of the Chinese citizens, either on the mainland or in Hong Kong, or the interests of American companies and American citizens there mean nothing to them. As for Xinjiang, it used to be a heavy victim of terrorism. Thousands of terrorist attacks happened there. But thanks to our resolute fight against violent terrorism, and thanks to our education efforts to help the people affected by extremist and terrorist ideas, no terrorist attack has taken place in the last 3 years. The life of local people of all ethnic groups has returned to normalcy. So facts are facts. No matter how much fake news is generated, no matter what absurd numbers are fabricated by the rumor mongers, facts will always prevail over lies. But whatever happens, China stands firm on safeguarding its sovereignty, security, and development interests. China stands firm on achieving national reunification, ethnic solidarity, and the people's happiness. Back in 2005, Ambassador Zelig raised the notion of responsible stakeholder, which has drawn extensive discussions around the world. And I believe on this planet, China and the United States are key stakeholders for world peace, stability, and prosperity. And each of us is a stakeholder for the development of China-US relations. Or to use Ambassador Allen's words just now, we are all members of the same crew on the same boat. It is the social responsibility of both Chinese and American companies to stand up against anyone who tries to stir up confrontation and hatred. It is our shared social responsibility to thwart the attempt to undermine our relations and create positive impetus to our friendship and cooperation. This is also the shared mission for people from all sectors of both countries, as it concerns the well-being of the 1.7 billion Chinese and American people, and bears on the future of our shared planet. So let's pull together and work for a better future for all. Now let me propose a toast to the great achievements made by the USCBC over the years and to its continued success, to growing and mutually beneficial economic cooperation between our two countries, certainly to greater two-way trade and investment, to the lasting friendship between our two great peoples, and to the health of everybody here. Cheers. Cheers.